Welcome to episode 11. Huge milestone episode for us. Our first palindrome episode. It's a pretty big deal.
How did you pronounce that?
Palindrome?
What was palindrome?
Palindrome. Something that reads the same backwards as forwards.
I'm sure
in this
you're
case,
wrong.
11.
No, I'm sure you're wrong on that. I'm sure it's palindrome.
Palindrome.
Like the Technodrome from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Palindrome.
Oh, God almighty. Well, don't just keep saying it.
Don't call me palindum.
You can't just be like palindrome, and then it just is palindrome.
If I say it 3 times, I summon an actual palindrome into my house.
Oh my God.
Let's see. Other big news. Today is November 5th, 2012. It is election eve.
And I have some big news to announce.
Yeah, you leaked it on the Twitter not too long ago, but you can go ahead, out with it.
I finished the Binding of Isaac. I beat the big chest on my first try.
Finally.
I can only thank 9-Volt plus Habit plus Book of Revelations. Mm-hmm. And I had no damage upgrades, so it took forever to beat the boss.
It is probably the greatest thing that has happened to you this year. This month.
Easily. This decade,
maybe. This decade. Ever, maybe?
This year's been nothing but like a flat line of news.
It's all you've been talking about.
I know. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Anything else happen?
Oh, PewDiePie video.
Oh, yeah. That was a thing.
Let's not spend too much time on this.
Yeah, we covered that in thorough detail in episode 10, but you wanted to make a couple of corrections and any aftermath stuff, a quick postmortem.
Exactly.
As it were.
Exactly. Just a couple corrections real quick. Zether is the guy who said, please remind me again why this guy is popular on YouTube. Right. That was Zether. I incorrectly credited someone else as him. And
asshole.
I know. I'm the worst.
Jesus.
UNON is the guy who just wins this, so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mixed up puking people who vomited during it. Mark Hodge is the one who pukes yellow, and it actually comes out of his mouth. And Black Spawn was the guy who pretends to puke while PewDiePie is doing Never Gonna Give You Up.
All these oversights, and you mod Let's Play?
I'm a terrible person.
God.
Tactics Ogre is the guy with the glasses and the goatee I mentioned. So I'm very sorry about all that. I am extremely disorganized. I don't even know why I call myself a Let's Player, if anything, or a Ret's Prayer, more appropriately.
It's almost like something else has happened recently that may have distracted you from things. But
I know.
I know you're concentrating on Isaac a lot, but come on.
Hey! Listen, I have one more correction to make, and it's a big one.
Okay.
A big one, okay?
Okay.
My bad on this. The first person we ever sold a t-shirt to, this guy JB, is the one who sent us a patch from his unit in Afghanistan. And you didn't know about this.
A software patch?
No. Apparently in the military, your unit gets like a name or whatever. It's not just 317. You know what I mean? Like you're the Fighting Vipers or what have you. Mm-hmm. And
that's the Notre Dame football team, I think.
I think so. Something like that. Yeah. Except nothing like that, you Philistine.
Just go.
But he gave me a patch from his unit. And what happened was, Bitter113, just, by the way, out of chance, also happens to be in the military. And was like, hey, just so you know, you incorrectly credited me as giving you a patch. Which I'm happy to do, mind you. But it turned out I mixed him up with a guy whose name, his real life name, rhymes with... who actually did the Gillian Seed intro to one of our podcasts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Sega Sky.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like their name, and I won't reveal their real names, but it's like really crazy that their names are like less common than this, but it's like Matt Thompson and Pat Thompson kind of thing. Like crazy how their names just match like that. But at any rate, I guess it caused a short circuit in my brain, plus I'm an idiot, so my apologies for that, JB. And Bitter113 and Sega Sky, all of whom I love and am erect for right now.
And that's corrections.
That's corrections. That's all of them.
Mm-hmm. Check.
I guess this is kind of old news, so we shouldn't spend a ton of time on it. But there was still some after reactions to the PewDiePie video, I guess, right?
Oh, we're not done. That wasn't the whole podcast.
Was it? I mean, you're in charge of these podcasts. You like them better than I do.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, I'm just saying.
All right. Please proceed, Slowbeef.
Oh, excuse me. Am I the one who's proceeding now?
Yes, Governor.
Okay. So, one thing that happened very soon after we did the podcast was General Ironicus actually posted a blog post.
That kind of canceled out our podcast altogether. I mean, it was much more succinct than that, and it was kind of a dick thing for him to do.
It was. It was
Jerk.
It was so well written, honestly, that I just feel the need. I feel like, honestly, in some ways, it's like, why did we even bother making this, this video when Ironicus is just going to do it so much better, basically. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so thanks a lot for that, you jerk.
Yep.
No, it was a really well written thing. It's kind of weird in a lot of ways to like compliment something that compliments you, because then it's like self-serving.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, but being that, again, as you mentioned, I'm the one who mostly did that video. It compliments me more than anything. So why don't you compliment it and it'll seem a lot better.
Great job, Ironicus, for doing the Lord's work.
No, in all seriousness, it was an extremely well-written piece. I always knew Ironicus was a smart guy.
Yeah, you've always said that.
Just from that blog post.
Yeah.
No, actually, true story. Do you remember during Metroid Prime, I made fun of him for being like a sociology major?
Yes.
It was one of those things that once you say it, you feel a little bad. I'm sure there's no bad blood or you didn't give a shit, but like, once you say something, you're like, you know what I mean? That kind of deal.
Way to throw away your entire college education.
Yeah, basically, right? No, but even then, I remember I was like, I don't know. But, no, I mean, I always knew he was a smart guy, and then he wrote that, and it complimented us, which was the smartest thing about it. So, obviously, the kid is a fucking genius. And now that Chip Cheesum's doing a Let's Play without him, I mean, that kid's just set for fucking failure.
Look, there's a position for you at Retsutalk LLC full-time.
Let's not go that far.
If you... spoilers.
No, but it really did. I think it was a really kind of cool perspective on why people like PewDiePie in general. Mm-hmm. And, being that they're children.
Yeah, that was his basic summary of it, was, I think it's something we kind of skirted around but didn't say very well directly, was, essentially he represents the ability not to have to grow up.
Well, it's interesting because I think, the point of our video, in a way, was just like, this is not fucking funny.
Yeah, this shit sucks.
Yeah, basically. And Ironicus had this kind of neat perspective on, I think this is why people think it's funny. And why they're wrong for it. But,
yeah.
Basically. Mm-hmm. But again, this is kind of old news, so we don't want to spend a ton of time on it. But, like, really extremely well done piece. Not just because it complimented us or whatever, or me. Me, specifically, not you, Diabetus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I think you were in that for like a second or something. Weren't you the guy who puked?
I was the dog.
Either way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Basically.
And then the other thing, this was about maybe a week after the video was posted. PewDiePie posted in his blog/Tumblr thing that apparently he was getting a lot of flack for those jokes, quote-unquote jokes, that he was making in the video, and decided to stop doing them.
It's funny that rape is somehow controversial.
Yeah. Like, people are getting... And the way he worded was like, people are getting kind of uppity about this for some reason.
This is sort of a tricky thing to talk about because on the one hand he's doing a good thing, and on the other it's like, wow, that's really why you're doing it.
Yeah, but I don't think he gets why he shouldn't be doing it. He's just figures that's the majority opinion now. So
that kind of plays into what we were talking about in the last podcast, where he's like kind of too stupid to know how to do proper PR, and it just came out like, I don't think I should be doing this, but okay, And it's like, it's not funny, you idiot. Like, that's the fucking point. All right, whatever.
So that
doing a good thing
that may cease, but the screaming will live on.
Yeah.
But maybe that's how it is.
It's tough because if you're doing a good thing, ultimately you don't want to diss the guy, but on the other hand, Jesus Christ, really?
So it goes.
But
anyway. On to the really big news that we wanted to touch on.
Oh, right. Really big news. We
are both going to PAX!
We're going to PAX, yes!
It's actual spring break because it's in spring!
Spring break! Yes! We're going to
video game party!
PAX party, bitch!
Ain't no party like a PAX party!
Oh, my God. We were at PAX last year, remember?
Yes.
You even made a video about it.
Yes. And John, you had better do another panel, because we'll be there.
I'm bringing a fucking camera. Mm-hmm. And we're setting up in the middle of the aisle, and I don't care who the fuck we bother.
We're bringing the Retsu posse into this one.
Absolutely. And when we make fun of your panel, Ironicus will write a blog post about how we are, legitimately right for doing so.
Mm-hmm, yeah, and that'll vindicate us completely.
He basically puts us on the moral high ground for us. It's excellent.
So I think we're planning to do a podcast at PAX itself. That'll be fun, like a little live podcast.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, duh.
Oh, okay. Yes, we are. Yes.
I'm in charge!
How could I have misplaced that note of mine that said that?
There will be a number of Let's Pals of ours who will be going as well, so that'll be a fun time.
I heard Chip might be going.
Yeah, Chip told me that he might be going. I don't know if he's confirmed for sure. Cherry Doom is going.
Oh, nice. Cool. Okay.
Yeah. Of course, the Freelance Astronauts gang. They'll be there at least one day.
I know the one's going, Pipes.
Yeah.
Are the others going, or?
Like the one.
Okay.
Like the most special one. So that's all that matters.
Exactly. Well, Evic's an idiot.
Well, yeah,
I don't even know which one that is. I'm kidding. Absolutely, though. I'm really looking forward to it.
We had a very fun time last year, so I expect we will this year as also.
And we absolutely didn't play video games or anything, last year. It was just a fun time. Just, Diabetus in the gang is what I think we called it.
Diabetus and his amazing friends.
Absolutely. Metabot was there. That was cool to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if you're a Something Awful Forums patron, Zealous, the Zealous was there.
Yeah. The one and only. We hung out with him for a good bit. He was a cool guy.
Absolutely. I think my goal is to go to the
Titty Bar.
The Titty Bar. No, the classic console room and play Super Contra 3.
Yeah, that was the one thing we could not do last time.
Well, I played it on normal difficulty, which was like bullshit. I'm sorry. I mean, it's like going to the Titty Bar and just standing outside and smoking and saying, I don't want to see titties.
Well, isn't normal difficult still hard in the same way that Battletoads is still hard if you use the 5 lives cheat?
Dude, you got to move on from fucking Battletoads. I'm sorry. It's the
all,
one game.
And just let me have that.
I got an idea. Wait, serious idea for PAX. I just thought of this.
Okay.
What if you and I practice Battletoads, and then we play it 2-player and just beat
slowbeef. I don't think I need to do much practice.
Oh my god! What a jerk! Woo!
It's the only thing I have going for me in my life right now.
No, I understand. Yeah, it's good.
It's good. I'm looking to do a new Let's Play though, soon.
Whoa!
Possibly.
How's that going?
So I ordered the PVR, DVR, whatever it's called, Hauppauge.
The Hauppauge HD PVR.
Hauppauge rhymes with fromage. Yes, that thing.
What an idiot! Yeah, no, it sounds good though. How's it going?
I've been doing some test videos, and making a good Let's Play is fucking hard.
Yes, it is actually.
You have to use this AVI synth program and crop shit and put in these filters, and you have to know programming or be a code wizard or something just to make your videos look decent. It's bullshit, frankly. I miss those 2007 days when all I had to do was record NES footage on my computer, throw an OC remix song over it because I was too stupid to figure out how to put the game audio in there as well, and then call it a day.
It's funny because your notes here that we talked about before this podcast say something more like, afraid to do Let's Play because of Retsutalk.
Yes, crippling fear holds me back.
Basically.
Well, no, I mean, trying to do a legit Let's Play, you want to at least make it decent. Especially after all the Retsu shit we do and seeing all the shit that people do wrong.
I wouldn't worry about it
Don't want to be honestly. A fucking hypocrite. I gotta go to PAX in front of the people.
We can be hypocrites all we like. We're better than them.
That's okay.
No, I think in general...
Retsu Prey 2012.
It's funny, I didn't think about this before the podcast, but someone pointed out in the most recent video we did for the Rad Brad...
Yes.
When he was playing Where Am I? Someone pointed out in the YouTube comments that he's actually really good, but this video sucks. And I've gotten that too from OMFG Kata fans. Yeah, I won't go into how much I believe them, but no, it's totally possible to do a shitty video and not be a bad Let's Player. I mean, come on. You know,
Lord knows you've had your share of crap.
Damn right I have.
Yeah, I mean, you're the one who said when Psychedelic Eyeball pseudo Retsuprayed your first Super Metroid video. I think, didn't you say you couldn't watch it?
No, I couldn't watch it. I still can't.
Yeah.
No, fuck it though. I mean, like, you know, again, and we went to this in the last podcast video. Like, it's not the goal of Retsuprey to stop people from doing bad Let's Plays. We can't. It's not possible, or whatever. I mean, my way around it is that just I try to do new things and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Or whatever. So, like, that's what you can do. Like, and whatever. If what you put out is crap, it's crap. But that's life.
That's a good way of thinking, and look where it got you. You beat the chest.
Well, basically,
your life's done.
No. To put it more in context, it makes more sense with Retsuprey. You have to, like, try at least. You know, you can't just be like, I want to do a Let's Play. This is the bare minimum for a Let's Play.
Yeah.
Done. You know?
I mean, that's really all that it's about, is putting forth some degree of effort. I mean, if you try, it's most likely going to be something that somebody's going to want to watch at least.
Or it might not be, though. That's the whole point, is that, you know, creativity is supposed to be about risk. And even if it's something like a Let's Play, like, you have to put yourself out there. And if you put out garbage and you didn't try and you get made fun of, that's just how it's supposed to go. It really is. Mm-hmm. But you know what, too? Even if you really try hard and you still didn't make it, that's still the way it's supposed to go, and that helps you better for next time.
And ideally you learn something from it, so either way it is to your benefit.
In fact, you know what? I'm going to invoke a much bigger internet celebrity than us. If such a thing exists.
Well, I'm waiting with bated breath.
That Yahtzee dude, the guy who does Zero Punctuation, when he was making fun of, when he was commenting on Control-Delete, he said a thing like, the worst thing you can ever do to an artist is tell them that their output is good when it's not, because it doesn't make them grow and it doesn't make them, like, figure something out. And Let's Play, I'm not saying it's an art or anything, even, you know, although Andrew Warhol proved it clearly was.
Let's Play is art.
Yeah, absolutely.
Zorak proved it, yeah.
No, absolutely. Okay, he did, actually, that Final Fight thing.
Yeah.
No, but, like, for real, like, you know, it sucks that you have to, like, put yourself out there and for possible ridicule, but that's how it's supposed to go.
Does it really suck, though?
What?
I mean, is it that hard not to have some thick skin about internet videos?
Apparently, for people who don't like us, it is.
Well, okay.
I mean, like, really, though.
Maybe they should evaluate that.
I know. It shouldn't be so hard for people to say, like, you know what, yeah, okay, you got me there. Like, I should have prepared some filler or something. Or even in some of our videos, like, okay, they're just making a joke. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like, no, there's a point where you have to say, you know, like, I'm not going to compromise my vision, or, yeah, okay, you got a point, I'll just do it. You know? And there's no way to really know it unless you watch other things that are similar to yours and, you know, actually try it, or try your own thing and see how it goes, you know?
Mm-hmm. Basically.
Right. I mean, and I notice, like, people on the Something Awful forums talk about how maybe Let's Play as a forum is hard to enter, but what is really the worst that could happen to you? You know?
Yeah, that's what I keep saying. I mean, if one little bit of critique is going to keep you from trying ever again, then maybe you shouldn't be trying it in the first place.
That's the thing.
I mean, if it's a thing that you think is a legitimate hobby of yours, then you want to find ways to make it more enjoyable, not only for yourself, but for, I mean, Let's Play is something that is inherent to the viewer. Like, you have to have people watching it in order for it to, you know, be a complete thing. So if you're only doing it for your own benefit to put yourself out there, you know, fuck the viewer or whatever, then how does that help? Where is there room to get better? You got to keep the viewer in mind also.
I'll tell you the truth. Way back in the day when Let's Play was very circle jerky, I really
what do you mean
remember,
back in the day?
Yeah. No, but I remember, I forget what Let's Play I had done. It was like Dark Seed or something, right? One of the very early ones. And people had mentioned, like, this is one of the best things I'd ever seen or whatever, right? And I felt like, wow, I'm really doing good. And then someone put out this really shitty Let's Play. Really, like, awful. Like, I'll bring it up later, maybe. But, like, it was just really low effort. The kid was just unfunny as fuck. It wasn't an interesting game. And the same person who had complimented me was like, wow, this is the best Let's Play I'd ever seen. And I remember, like, this whole...
You didn't stay on that throne very long.
I know, like, this whole sinking feeling of, wow, all that praise I'd gotten was like for nothing, because now we're just complimenting everybody. And that's like the state it got in at one point. And that is like what part of the reason I was like, oh, well, maybe we should have like a harsh criticism thread and things like that, because like it got to a point where like you get a biscuit for trying, you know? It's like, oh, here's your gold medal just because you did something. Mm. And I worry about that with the SA Let's Play forum and stuff. And I know people say it's hard to get in and all that, but it's like, maybe it should be. Because if you look at fucking YouTube, seriously, look at what's getting the gold trophies. You know? And even worse, like, look at, like, how people give PewDiePie the gold star, and then even worse, tell people who do the same games as him, like, hey, PewDiePie already did this, you shouldn't be doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I mean, come the fuck out.
And that's
seriously.
not criticism.
Yeah, exactly. He does not have a copyright on Heavy Rain, and frankly, I wish Quantic, whatever, would sue him. But, you know what I mean? Like, It should be not competitive, but it should be open and honest at some point where you say, hey, that's not funny. Or, hey, that wasn't as good as this. Because that lets you know?
Yeah. Well, I think it kind of ties into another thing we talked about a little bit. I think it was last time where we talked about, personality as it relates to doing Let's Plays. Is the game more important or whatever, or and whatnot? Yeah. But, no two LPs are the same. You put yourself into it to some degree, so just because one person does it doesn't mean it's sealed and that's the one and only.
Sure.
So,
yeah. I guess to be fair, I guess it is human nature, too, to say if someone's done something in the past that's good, that you want to give them sort of a pass. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like, I know, this is an extreme example, but, like, Darren Aronofsky's doing another movie, and I'm interested to see it. And I can't even remember what it's about, but I'm like, wow, I loved The Wrestler, I loved Black Swan, I loved Requiem for a Dream, I didn't love Pie, actually, but whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of thing, where, yes, personality, I think, plays to it in part of a human nature aspect, but what I like about SA is if you're bad, someone will call you out on it. Yes, there are people who are a little too nitpicky about it, but at least it's an open discussion, as opposed to YouTube, where you'll just get shouted down for whatever.
Yeah, well, the nature of SA that YouTube doesn't have is you can critique the critiquers, too. I mean, it's not one voice out there in a void that you have to listen to. It's kind of a consensus that you can build on.
Absolutely, absolutely. I do sometimes think maybe, it could be a little more open toward people you haven't heard of before, but that said, I think it kind of is. And,
I think if we had more LP threads that were like mass threads, not of one person doing one Let's Play, but kind of a compository for a bunch of videos like there used to be. Mm-hmm. Like, there was a thing called Let's Fail. Where people would just, blindly try games until they quit. It's just a fun way to try out shit and have a good time with it.
Absolutely. Well, I mentioned in the State of Let's Play thread, I actually wanted to start that again. Mm-hmm. Although I noticed there's a new thread that started there called the Clusterfuck, or Clusterfuckathon. Yeah. Which is kind of just like a...
kinky.
Can't find it right now. No, it is kinky, though. I will give it that. Mm-hmm. No, but, yeah, I mean, I think that kind of thing could help, and sort of help people who want to get off the ground but are afraid of, I guess, not meeting some level of standard that they think, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but like a fear of a failed thread.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or just giving up on something. There's
Coinbox. Coinbox.
Pressure is kind of a weird word for internet videos, but it's not a thing when you have just a mass group of videos that you can just throw one at and see how it goes.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, that's the thing with Let's Play, is that it's sort of like a virtuoso performance. Even when you try to make audience participation a factor, it tends to put the spotlight on you. Mm-hmm. And, I kind of do like the way things are insofar as that they're very critical, and you don't just get a cookie just because, Mm-hmm. Not to repeat myself, but you know what I mean.
Right.
All right.
So there's that.
So we really went into that topic. I don't even remember where the hell we were in the whole...
there's another... I can't believe we didn't talk about this. There's another huge thing that happened to you recently that's, a life changer.
We're off script, so you have to tell me what it is.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's probably one of the biggest things that a man or woman goes through in their entire lifetimes that completely changes the trajectory of their life. Hurricane Sandy hit New Jersey.
Oh, I thought you were going with the Danganronpa thread finishing.
Oh, that's even more significant.
I know. I didn't realize.
Danganronpa hit New Jersey recently.
Oh my god. All right, let's get into the hurricane.
So how is the nature of New Jersey right now as a Jerseyan?
Oh my god, not well. I'm one of the very lucky people insofar as we lost power for 5 minutes, and that was that. 2 streets up from me, Central Avenue in Jersey City, pitch black. Last Thursday, I took the Port Authority bus back to Central Avenue, and I really thought I was going to get mugged.
Cool.
Like, no street lights, no stores open, nothing. Trees are down, they hit houses, cars were crushed. We got really lucky again, and our block is one of the few that has power in it. Hence this podcast.
Sounds apocalyptic.
It's kind of, it's a very weird thing, because I've mentioned going to New Orleans in this podcast before.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a really funny part of the podcast. My friends who live down in New Orleans, obviously went through Hurricane Katrina, and
lucky.
Yeah, right. No, but they're like, I remember they were like, "Hey, you coming to Mardi Gras this year?" Because I used to go every year, and I'm like, "Hey, you're having it," and they were apparently. So it feels really weird because New York, New Jersey got hit really hard, and down the Jersey Shore is like wiped out, like
the actual place, not the television show.
Well, where they filmed the television show.
All right.
Which I kind of hate about the television show too, because it sort of takes away from things. But like, it's like really messed up, and like houses are just pushed aside and all that. If you're a charity giving person, I would recommend it highly. But I feel weird about it because actually having seen Hurricane Katrina, which it's weird that Sandy hit close to home, and I spent a lot of time in the Jersey Shore and all that. Hurricane Katrina was really fucked up in ways that, like, it was. You ever play the Silent Hill games? Any of them?
I have not.
It's like, oh, well, that doesn't help at all. Mm-hmm. Do you ever see previews for the Silent Hill movies?
I saw the first Silent Hill movie for some reason.
You did? God, why?
I don't know.
So you know what it's like to live through a disaster. No, I've not seen the first Silent Hill movie actually. No, Hurricane Katrina was really messed up. It doesn't even, you can't even describe it. It's just like, it's very weird to go. It's very weird because here in Hurricane Sandy, we'll get into this. My wife is actually away for the week, which means lots of Retsutalk videos for everyone. Mm-hmm. And I'm here alone, and it's very hard to like get food and gas. My car is at my parents'. And I have like leftover Chinese. All I can get is pizza and Chinese in my area. So like I went to New York for work today, and I like basically filled up on food there. I ate McDonald's for like the first time in like 5-6 years, so you know what a nightmare it is.
So socialite slowbeef, living like a peasant. How's it feel?
What's fucked up is I remember my friends who lived in Katrina were telling me like you couldn't get fast food for like months, and it's like very weird to like not be able to do that, And I went through the lower Ninth Ward just to see it and stuff. And the lower Ninth Ward in New Orleans is between the Mississippi River and Lake Pontchartrain. And there was a barge in the lake that like once everything filled up, it just kind of swept through these like suburbs almost, and just like you couldn't imagine. It was almost like taking a Monopoly board of those plastic houses and just taking your hand and just wiping it away. It was just fucking weird beyond belief, and something I could never describe to people really. And the reason I bring up like Silent Hill, it's like something like horrific like that and disturbing. And I took video. I wish I could find this video. I took video of it, and I showed my boss at work, and he's like, "Did you add a soundtrack to this?" And I didn't. It was this pile driver breaking up the barge that had gone through the fucking suburb neighborhood, and it was just like banging through it and shit.
Shit. Well.
It's really a horrible thing, and it's in Hurricane Irene that hit like a year ago. Mm-hmm. I hear that South Jersey got hit bad, and I hear North Carolina got hit bad, and I don't want to like speak, however, of hurricanes, but I remember like people in North Jersey like, wow, like power was out for a day. What a horrible storm. And I was just thinking, like, fuck you. Like, those people went through such fucking shit. And, you know, it's very odd to be in this weird hurricane. And, like, today I spent, like, $40 getting home just because the lines from the Port Authority to New Jersey are terrible. And people in South Jersey really do have it very badly and things like that. But it could be so much worse. And it is for them. I'm one of the very lucky people, you know. What was the point of the story? Give charity. Give money to people. I don't know.
Give charity. That's right.
Give charity. No, you know, I have to say, too, I'm not a huge Chris Christie fan, but I'm really happy with how he handled this whole situation.
He's been pretty balla throughout.
Absolutely.
What I've seen on the news.
Because we have a presidential election starting tomorrow in the news, and he, you know, whatever you feel politically or whatever, I think it was just very cool where he's like, I don't care what presidential politics is about right now, you know, the president's helping us, and we really appreciate that, and we're going to work with him. You know what I mean?
Right,
that's absolutely perfect, you know, just really the way to be. I've had issues with Christie in the past, but this is really excellent, you know?
So, election, you voting tomorrow?
No, I don't care about New Jersey or anything, really.
Aren't you empowered because of the conditions to vote by email?
Actually, I am. It's funny thing about New Jersey. Yeah, we're doing email voting. So, I actually really will because I can't get to my car. I really am going to email the council tomorrow and see if they're going to give me an email ballot. If not, I'll take the bus and all that shit. But
right.
I know that, by the way, I know that sounds really fucking aloof, like, oh, I'll take the bus. But you really have to understand, like, mass transit is fucking out in the state.
Yeah, like most of the subways are still inoperable, right?
Yeah, basically.
So buses are just like a clusterfuck?
Yeah. It took me about 2.5 hours getting to work today. But it's
two and a half?
Yeah, it's 20 minutes, usually, like, once you get on the bus. We were just, like, out there in the cold, like, me and these people I don't fucking know, and, like, talking about...
I think they all know who you are, Slowbeef.
Well, I guess so. We were talking about where the fuck the bus is, and it just didn't come. And this one guy heading back made a U-turn right in front of our bus stop. Yeah, a fucking bus, mind you, made the U-turn.
Wow.
To pick us up and brought us in. Then once I'm in, my building didn't have any heat or anything, and the ventilation was all fucked up. There was no food or anything, so...
Why did you go into work at all?
I don't know.
I think app coding can wait a little bit.
You know what it is? It's like there is like a server you can't reach from outside the network. So I'm like, I'll go in, upload this build, and then other shit happened. But like, it was freezing in the building, and then like whatever was coming through the vents was fucking killing me. I don't know what it was. Everyone's like, this smells horrible.
It was the hurricane?
Yeah. I left early. Port Authority, the fucking lines were, okay, Port Authority is a city block. The line went all the way across from the inside of the building, out the front door, out the side, around the side of the building, snaked back twice.
Fuck.
I was in line standing on 40th Street, between, 8th and 9th? Like, just out with these people. These two people I've never met before. I was talking to my sister on the phone. They're like, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, so we ended up getting a cab back. It ended up costing... like 40 a piece, pretty much, just to get home, and it still took like an hour or whatever just to drive, but like waiting for the bus before, it's weird. It's like nothing was really ready for this. And again, like I talk about these stupid inconveniences as bad as they are, and I just remember the fucking Katrina and shit, and it was like, wow, that was still so much more. I can't imagine.
Well,
but that said, if you look at South Jersey, like Manahawkin, Seaside Heights, that area, just wrecked. And actually even Queens in New York, 80 houses burned. It's like awful. So video games.
Right.
I really feel like I'm talking about a subject that is way over my head right now.
No, you're a moderator. It's okay.
Okay.
People will listen.
Basically.
Well, I know all about inconvenience because the state of Alabama is one of the only states to have no early voting.
Oh my God, how do you live?
I know, right? I have to take a break tomorrow and go vote.
My God.
I mean, this is worse than Sandy.
I was going to tell my boss, like, hey, listen, I'm leaving work at like 3 p.m. tomorrow, but I'm voting for the Communist Party. That cool? You know, but... Absolutely.
So, do you have any interesting statewide ballots or other funny things to vote on tomorrow besides the pres?
Oh, is that what the election tomorrow is about?
Partially.
Oh, good. Okay.
There is an amendment, a statewide amendment in Alabama to vote for that will, if it's approved, will remove references to segregation of schools in the state constitution.
I'm sorry. What?
I'm not kidding.
Oh, God.
I'm going to read the exact wording of the amendment, and I just need to pull it up.
Before our PewDiePie video, you've seen a black person, right?
A what?
In Alabama? Have you seen a black person in Alabama, or is that...
How's... What?
Oh, you're talking about... What? You're talking about segregation in the Constitution?
What? Segregation?
Let's just edit this out in post. Oh, okay.
No, the wording of the amendment, proposing an amendment to the Constitution of Alabama of 1901 to repeal portions of Amendment 111, now appearing as Section 256 of the official recompilation of the Constitution of Alabama of 1901, as amended, relating to separation of schools by race, and to repeal Section 259, Amendment 90, and Amendment 109 relating to the poll tax. Just reading these amendments at the voting booth will put you to sleep tomorrow.
I got caught up on the word segregation. Are you guys really that backwards? Or?
Alabama has one of the oldest, possibly the oldest and longest state constitution of any of the 50 states. Established in 1901, it's never really been revised, per se. So this kind of shit's still in there, for some reason. Like,
wow, man.
An amendment to that amendment, I think, outlawed the segregation itself, but the original amendment is still in there. So there's that.
Get the fuck out and vote.
There's
the fuck out and run for
progressive
office.
Issues like this to vote on tomorrow in Alabama.
America is such a weird country. It's like
it really is.
It's like we're the same country, but then you like meet people from these other states, and you're like, "Wow, really?" There.
Should we remove our horrible shit from this constitution that's objectively bad? Let's let the voters decide. It's really up to them.
Meanwhile, New Jersey just like shames itself via reality TV.
So speaking of progressivism, there's also another amendment that is basically giving the middle finger to the Affordable Care Act, which Amendment 6, that would prohibit mandatory participation in, quote, any healthcare system.
Wait, what? Isn't that the whole thing?
Well, yeah. So, statewide amendment number 6, proposing an amendment to the Constitution of Alabama of 1901 to prohibit any person, employer, or healthcare provider from being compelled to participate in any healthcare system. Because the emergency room is fine.
But...
Right?
But...
Right? Go to the ER. Mitt Romney, 2012.
Politics makes me sick.
I can't even say that with a straight face.
But all right, you know, and then getting back to hurricanes. Do you know what he said about the fucking, like, cleaning up the football field? Did I show you that clip?
That's what he equated to the hurricane cleanup?
Oh my god.
Well, you know, I had to clean up a high school football game where people just left all kinds of debris on the fields, and we just set up in groups and went down the 10-yard line, the 20-yard line, until we got it all cleaned up. That's what they should do in these statewide areas that are...
But he said that! Like, motherfucker, houses got moved! Like,
now,
what?
He said that, and this is supposedly a close election.
I don't usually like to get political, but I want to fucking crush my own skull in with my hands when I hear that.
If you're listening to this and you're not in the United States, you should stay tuned to United States politics, because it's a wild ride. Although perhaps politics is a wild ride in your country as well. I hear the British Parliament's very entertaining, for example.
God damn it, we just went through a fucking hurricane. What are you talking about, you dumb shit?
And he also converted his campaign rallies into storm relief events. And this is a thing that actually happened. So the Red Cross was very clear that we don't need any canned goods. If you want to donate money, that's great, but these are the things we don't need. And so Mitt Romney's campaign... Mitt Romney's campaign went to a store and stocked up on all these canned goods, like $5,000 worth or something. And then people got to meet Mitt Romney, shake his hand and whatnot. And if they were supposed to bring something that the campaign could contribute to the Red Cross, but a lot of people didn't get that memo, and they didn't know, so they told the campaign people, hey, I don't have anything, what am I supposed to do? It's like, oh, take one of our things. And so they give back something that the campaign already got.
Yeah. That was disgusting, too, because he's in a fucked position, because right now this is, like, basically Obama doing what Bush didn't back in Katrina and shit like that, where, like, they're helping right away, like they fucking should be doing.
Right.
And, you know, it's making... It's not really affecting the election, honestly, but it's making Obama look good in some way. So he's like, hey, I better take my campaigning thing and make it into a relief thing, and that's, I didn't have time to do that, but I'll try.
Yeah.
It's like... It sucks to get it so politicized, and, you know, again, that's, you know... I know Christie's getting shit from the Republicans now, because on Fox and Friends, when they asked him, like, would you accept Mitt Romney there? And he's like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
And he didn't mean it
was the right thing to say.
It was the right thing to say. And he didn't mean it like, I don't give a shit about Mitt Romney. He means it like, I have a fucking crisis on my hands.
Yeah, it means
right
that's
now.
a dumb fucking question.
Absolutely, it was. That's, you know, and it sucks it has to happen right now.
Yeah.
And it really, it infuriated me back in 2000, was it 5? When Katrina hit and, like, you know, FEMA was late to respond and shit like that. You know, put the fucking politics aside, it was a mistake, fix it now. But later on then, like, people who wanted to defend Bush were like, well, you know what? You live in a fucking area that low below sea level, you fucking deserve it. No, you don't, you dumb shit. You don't get to pick where the fucking cities are. The reason New Orleans is there is because it's a fucking hub of transit. Cities build around things like that. You know? Not like people in Manhattan don't want to live on a fucking island because they love the island life. Look at Manhattan! It's a fucking superstructure fucking megalopolis. Like, dickheads. Like, you build cities around areas like that. You know what I mean? And when shit happens to people, it's not like, oh, your fault for living in a place with a hurricane. Look at all the fucking people in the Midwest with the tornadoes. Look at the fucking people in California with the earthquakes. Shitheads. Fuck. Sorry, anyway.
Yep, dead to rights.
Dead to rights. Wow, that was the most angry I've ever gotten on a podcast.
Yeah. But long story short, vote tomorrow.
Vote tomorrow. But do you know what I mean? Like, with disasters, it shouldn't be about who the fuck you like in office. It really shouldn't. That's the point where you come together. And even if you don't believe the federal government should help and all that shit, which is... You at least contribute to your neighboring states. You at least contribute to other fucking people, because it's a good fucking thing to do. Why do I have to explain this on a video game-based podcast?
It's just kind of sad when the media feels like the way it has to respond to something like a disaster that affects people. It's very, very sad. It's a very serious thing. To one of the first things they talk about is, now, how does this affect the election?
I know.
Because that's the kind of thing people tune into. It's theater. People want to watch theater. They want to watch drama. And that's what, you know, it's like a big 16-month-long reality television show.
Basically.
It gets the highest rating, so that's what kind of shit they talk about. It's a sad state of affairs, but vote. Even if you live in a heavily red state or a blue state, vote on your statewide stuff. It's important. Some Senate races are going on. You know, go in.
Yeah,
it's
hey,
important.
you know,
do it.
I think you know where we both lean politically, but you know, if you're Romney, whatever, hey, just fucking do it. Whatever.
Do it.
Oh well, I know where you are. Yeah. You know, but yeah, it's whatever.
Right.
But on to even bigger news.
Right, bigger news, and I've been waiting to say this for the longest time. I'm really excited for you for this, but there is a 999 sequel.
I know, and because of this damn hurricane, I can't buy it.
That is the worst part of this whole thing.
Fucking FEMA, where are you now?
FEMA, where's your relief?
No,
I need relief in 999 ways. Right, but but 999 is something you've wanted to let's play yourself, right?
And some piece of shit's beating me to it in the sandcastle. You motherfucker! No, I don't care.
Banned.
No, yes, but let's just pretend he's not for the.
His posting life is over.
Let the sword of Damocles just hang. No, it's fine, honestly, because I wouldn't know how our time to do that. We have to still VLP police knots, and you're doing your own thing soon.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
Which reminds me of a funny idea. Maybe I'll mention at the end of this. But anyway, 999 has a sequel now, and I'm really interested in it. It's apparently sort of a new story, though it does tie back to the original. It's called, I hate the name.
Can you take a step back a little bit? Because people like myself, possibly people listening who have not played the original 999, what's it all about? What is it?
Okay. I didn't talk about 999 at all and the situation the people there are in.
What?
Well, all right. Let's say I didn't. Who cares? You've sat through Hurricane Talk. Let's talk about something
Right.
a little nicer and lighter. 999 is a game in which nine strangers find themselves aboard a ship and they've swallowed bombs, and the ship is sinking, and basically in 9 hours the bombs are going to detonate and they're going to die.
They swallowed bombs?
Well, not purposefully. Like they
Oops.
Bombs were implanted in them, more or less.
Okay.
All right. So
This wasn't an apple?
they wake up with basically wristbands on themselves that have the numbers 1 through 9, and the notion is they have to solve puzzles to get out of this. It's kind of like Saw in a way, but good. And the numbers they have to add up to what's called a digital root, and the idea is like you'll see, like, let's say a door with the number 4 spray painted on it, right?
Of course.
And the idea is your digital root, your group of people, has to be 4 or 5 people that have to add up to the number 4. And you get a digital root by adding all the digits together and then compressing it to a single digit, more or less.
So this is Sudoku put into video game form. Is that what I'm hearing?
I guess so. Well, the idea is if you had, like, let's say 4 people with 1, 3, 5, and 7, it'd be 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7, which is 16, and then since double digit, you add the digits together, you get 7. So those 4 people could open a door marked 7.
Whoa. All right, 1600 SAT scorer. Whoa.
But the notion is that to escape the ship, only certain groups of them can get through the doors. So they'll see a door marked 4 and a door marked 5, and you have to figure out as a player, how do we split up who goes where? And then you kind of start to realize, well, wait, if only 4 or 5 of us can get through a door, and according to the Zero, who's the kind of mastermind of it, there's a door marked 9, doesn't that mean that we're not all going to be able to get through this? So then there's kind of like intrigue as people consider killing each other and maybe allying with people based on these numbers, more or less.
So they very quickly figure out the mechanics of the numbers thing after they swallowed bombs?
The game is very helpful in that the first puzzle you have to solve involves digital roots. It's really not that hard. It's you have to, like, add up the numbers together. It's not that tough a mechanic to figure out. I mean, like, explaining it now, like, like this is like, what are you talking about? But sure. It's a little simpler than that,
And where does this take place?
On a ship.
Okay, so it's Nerd Titanic.
Yes, Nerd Titanic,
okay.
More or less. But what I really think is cool about the next game, which is, again, the title is awful.
So it's called 9992?
No. It's
these almost 10,000 people have swallowed bombs.
This one's called, wait, get ready for this.
Okay.
This one's called Zero's Escape, Virtue's Last Reward.
Logical title follow-up.
Sure. But, wait, I gotta give it credit. This game has a much simpler and cooler mechanic to it.
So they didn't just pull a bunch of words out of a hat and made a title.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, they should have put a better title. So the last 999 had what's called the nonary game, which is based on the number 9. Mm-hmm. Nonary, I mean the word. Which, everything is about 9 digital roots and blah, blah, blah. This one, though, apparently, these 9 people wake up in some area or some distress, and they have wristbands they can't take off. But this time, they have a point system called BP. And
blood pressure.
Get through the door. I think that's roughly betrayal points. And the idea is, now the points are a score. And the idea is, at some point, you are paired up with someone at one of the other 9 people when you want to go through a door. And you have to play something with them called the Ambidex game. And it's basically Prisoner's Dilemma. Which, I don't know if I should explain that or not. Like, it's kind of a common game theory sort of thing. Have you ever heard of Prisoner's Dilemma? No. Okay. Prisoner's Dilemma is kind of a very cool political science concept where, should I explain it in game terms or in the political terms?
Let's go with game terms.
Okay. So let's say you both have 5 points. Okay.
Done, yeah.
You need 9 to escape to get out of this whole scenario.
Okay. Where do I get my 4 points?
Well, here's what you can do. So let's say you and I are playing. Okay, I can say to you, listen, we can ally with each other or betray each other. Now, I don't know the actual scoring system of the game, but let's just say we ally with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And if we do that, we don't gain any points, you and I. But we can go through the door, we can move on with someone else, and maybe figure out someone down the road, right?
Okay.
Nothing happens if we just ally with each other, if we're friends.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we betray each other. Let's say we both decide that,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say we lose 1 point apiece. So we're down to 4 each.
Right.
And by the way, if your number goes to 0, your wristband gives you a lethal injection and you die.
Of course.
Okay, so
I figured. Yeah.
now here's the tricky part. Let's say I ally with you and you betray me.
Mm.
When you're betraying me and I'm trying to be friends with you, you gain like 3 points and I lose like 3 points.
Say.
Yeah. So your best benefit is to betray me while I'm trying to ally you.
It's like that old game show, Friend or Foe.
Basically. Keep in mind the worst thing for both of us is to betray each other.
Right.
You know? Because we both lose then. And if we ally with each other, we don't really gain. But it's like, here's the thing. The best we could really do is to ally with each other. Or even to make the math better, let's just say if we ally with each other, we each gain 1 point. But if we betray each other, we lose 2 points. Here's the prisoner's dilemma. The best thing we can do is ally with each other, realistically. So we both gain a point.
Right.
But here's the fucked up thing. If I'm thinking, well, Diabetus is going to ally with me, I should betray him because then I'll gain the max points. He might lose it, but I'll gain it. And but the problem.
But if that's your way of thinking, then by your logic, it would be my way of thinking.
That's exactly that's why it's a dilemma. That's why it's a prisoner's dilemma
Right,
because the problem is that the honest best thing you can do is really the second worst is to say we both betray each other and we both lose 2 points. It's the wrong thing to do, but the problem is you just can't trust me. You know? The reason it's called prisoner's dilemma is because the political science scenario is two people commit a crime, they're both in separate cells, and the cops give them that kind of thing where they say, you betray each other, you both do 5 years, you betray the other guy and he doesn't betray you, he does 10, and you get off scot-free, and if neither of you talk, you get 2 points, you get 2 years to spend in jail, you know?
Yeah.
It's that scenario. But what's really interesting about prisoner's dilemma in the political science perspective is even if, let's say, you have this point of, where you have to play this game together. So let's just say if we were playing the Ambidex game or in prisoner's dilemma, either way, let's say you and I get to talk about it. And I'm like, look, the best we're going to do is to ally with each other, okay? Like, the cops, if we're in the bathroom together and they're talking to the cops, like, let's just spend the 2 years in jail. We'll both get off better, Mm-hmm. Even after you talk about it, once you leave, even once you've colluded, you just realize, wait a minute, the other guy's going to fucking ally with me. I should totally fucking betray him. You know what I mean? Okay. But then even if you're a good person, you think that you're just like, wait a minute, but then he's thinking that about me. It's a really fucked up mind game, and there's no way out of it.
This totally changes how I think about the future of Retsutalk.
This is totally the reason you should buy a Nintendo 3DS or a PSP Vita.
Mm-hmm. To betray you?
Yes.
Okay. But then you'll give me your DS if I do that, right?
But by the way, yes.
Okay.
Or no.
Okay, I think I got it.
By the way, one cool thing about Virtue's Last Reward, I would have preferred 999 too, was there's apparently 24 different endings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're actually like distinct endings. They're not like copies of each other and stuff.
Oh.
So I'm very
much?
I know. I'm very interested to play it, honestly.
Good show.
Good show.
I don't have a DS, so your whole thing was wasted on me, by the way.
Oh, okay. Any other big news? Anything happen?
Not really for me. During the hurricane, It was mildly windy in Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of chilly. A little bit inconvenient.
Tough. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I got nothing, really.
Yeah, I guess I don't either.
Oh, I got married.
Oh, what?
I know, it's true, I did.
Holy shit. I'm sorry I didn't go.
I know. We got really lucky. We had the wedding the day before the hurricane hit, and our honeymoon is not till like November 13th.
Yeah. Sounds like you had a little forward knowledge.
No, well, I played Prisoner's Dilemma with the Storm.
Oh, okay.
Right, yes. I knew what I was getting into. No, we did. We totally got married. It was a very nice ceremony, reception, all that. I will tell you one thing: when you get married, it is all a blur that day.
A blur?
It is. It just you're being pulled in 1,000 directions.
High anxiety?
It's not even. I felt very anxious on the way to the church, and my now brother-in-law. My wife is very stereotypically Irish, so her family likes to drink, which is totally cool by me.
Hey,
but he brought a
reception.
cooler. I know, he brought a cooler in the limo.
Sweet.
I didn't drink on the way to church or anything. I had a swig of beer on the way. One of my groomsmen. I'm like, all right, give me one. And I was just like, I was nervous going, just because you're afraid everything's gonna go wrong or you're gonna fuck something up. But then you get there and it's totally fine.
Yeah. I mean, what is there to really fuck up on your side? What do you have to do? Like, you hold her hand, say some shit?
Well, they're supposed to go over in the rehearsal, and ours kind of didn't. But you have to like. You wait, if you're the groom, you wait, and her father, well, I mean, obviously, but, like, there's more progressive weddings now, but whatever, we had a traditional one. Her father brings her up, and you shake his hand, and then you walk up together, then you sit down, and then you listen to a mass if you're into that, and then, or whatever, a speech, and then you get up, and then your best man gives you the rings, and you have to say a feu things, and there it is.
Yeah.
Boom. Nothing like a video game.
You say dead to rights, right?
You say, I will love you until we are dead to rights.
Okay, I knew it was in there somewhere. Okay.
Something like that.
Any advice for upcoming listeners getting married or thinking about getting married?
Save your fucking money.
Oh.
One thing I am very lucky about is my wife is very fiscally responsible. Mm-hmm. It feels so weird to say that now. That she's fiscally responsible, that is. But no, she's very good with saving money and things like that. Weddings in the Northeast are super fucking expensive.
Yeah, thanks, Sandy.
Yeah, right. But no matter how like low to high budget you want to go, there are just a million things that you have to pay for that are crazy. And then after that, you have to buy a house.
Yeah.
And then
you have to buy the wife beforehand.
You're right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the dowry, I mean, was nice. Thank God for that.
Right.
But yeah, I would say though, honestly, you know, in a lot of my 20s, I just was just like, fuck it, spend. You only live once, kind of thing. But there is a point where you have to be like, I have to grow up and save money and do podcasts and
put the Let's Plays aside, focus on the real issues.
Like Retsutalk.
Like Retsutalk.
Exactly.
This is where your life is going.
Exactly.
Fortunately, your wife is very supportive of Retsutalk.
She is. She listens to the podcast and everything, so...
Ooh, better cut some shit out then.
Yeah, right. It's funny, too, because my brother-in-law, who, like, plays video games every now and again, but, like, just to give you his level of video, he owns a PlayStation Move. Like, I'm a Sony guy, and I was like, nah, I'm skipping that. But he was like, hey, I'd like to watch one of slowbeef's videos.
He's very into them if he refers to you like that.
Yeah, basically. No, and she was like, what should I show him? And I'm like, nothing? the best I could give you, I think, and I never gave you credit for this, I think Dark Seed is probably one of our best videos, the long play. And that was pretty much all you. You knocked that out of the park. That was very...
I did?
I thought so.
Okay.
I mean, I thought, like, I did all right, but, like... And people even said, I think, in the comments, like, that was probably one of your better showings for fucking once. Thanks for pulling your weight. No, but I think Darkseid was I didn't show it to him, and I don't know if I will, but that was, like, the one I could say, I could show normal people this, because this was legitimately out-and-out funny.
Hey, do you have 7 hours?
No,
let me show you something.
One.
Real quick. Real quick.
Well, that's the whole problem, is then the follow-up, which is much funnier, but you can't do to people. Hey, speaking of 7 hours, what do you think of the next episode of Deep Fear?
Oh my god.
I know.
Our Halloween-themed thing that's still going on in November.
I'm sorry, I watched it. I thought it would be a little better than this.
There's, 2 videos left?
Yeah, which means 2 more hilarious moments apiece.
2 more, yeah. But each video has one thing that kind of carries us through.
Yeah, we haven't
posted
Oh boy,
something I can reference, yay!
Yeah, no, we haven't posted 5 yet at the time of this podcast.
Oh, right.
But that was really funny. I'm thinking.
Yes, that one thing.
Yes. We should maybe just do a best of.
Best of Deep Fear.
Deep Fear in 7 minutes and just have like Clancy, that thing, Mookie, and then,
Yeah. But and then what's next then?
After Deep Fear?
Yeah.
Oh, we have to do King's Quest 7.
Oh, right, yeah. That's on the agenda.
I know one other long play which we want to do. But
is that the thing I emailed you? Or something else?
No. We have to do the one you emailed me, and then there is something else that we talked about a while back. But I don't want to say it just in case we decide not to do it.
It's your wedding.
This is my wedding.
Yay.
Right. No goons for president, Slowbeef's wedding.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah. I tried to get in, but I was like specifically pushed out.
Yeah, no, you were.
I was turned away.
I'm sorry, Antonio got.
And then I got you Hurricane Sandy as a wedding gift.
Hey, thank you very much.
You enjoying that?
Well, I think your better wedding present of giving me the Binding of Isaac, beating the chest was even better. That was my honeymoon.
Yay! And you're going to Thailand?
I'm going to Thailand for our honeymoon in about a week.
Nice.
Oh, and my wife is in Massachusetts this week for her job, so did I ever mention this already? We get to do a whole week full of Retsu Price stuff.
Yeah, you alluded to that.
So
yeah, the idea is we're going to get a bunch of content in the bank, and I'm going to gradually send it out while you're off, fucking hookers.
Basically.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You want to talk about maybe some people who wanted to guest with us and maybe see who we want to see and that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's something we get asked on via Forum Spring every now and then, is people to get on. The Dark Id, popular screenshot Let's Player on Something Awful. I think he actually expressed interest to you on getting on the podcast.
I'd be interested to talk to him, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Cyber Shell, who did the Sonic videos back in the day.
And the Half-Life LP.
The Half-Life LP, he said he'd do it.
Yeah, and we have a lot to talk about with him.
Absolutely.
Research indicates, of course, the person who did the, I'll just call it masterful. No, the very
Mona
highly
Lisa
regarded
of Let's
Trespasser.
Play.
It's basically the most highly regarded Let's Play on Something Awful. I would say.
Yes.
Is the Trespasser.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really was, though. And then Psychedelic Eyeball decided to break out of his shell and say, yeah, I'd like to be on the podcast, too. So
oh, he did?
I'd delight to have him. Yes, he did. He PM'd me.
Oh, I thought he said the opposite of that.
Didn't I, copy and paste you notes during this whole thing?
Well, you did, but he told, I mentioned that to him, and he told me that he didn't feel like he had a lot of things to say.
Yeah, he PM'd me this weekend, and he's like, I'd like to do it, thank you. And then I'm like, well, I'm in a hurricane, so go fuck
Flip-flopping
yourself.
Canadians!
I know. It was in a boat.
Yeah.
There is that. Anybody else, by the way, if you'd like to come into a podcast, I think we're more than happy to have you.
Yeah, and we'll have, past guests on, I'm sure, again, because those have all worked out pretty well. Haven't heard from Davo in a while.
We haven't. We should have him.
He tweets kind of weird, artsy stuff every now and then, but I'm sure he'd be up for it.
Get him to do that stupid paper RPG thing.
Paper RPG thing?
Remember you had pen and paper tabletop RPG
Oh, yeah,
thing?
yeah. I think Ironicus or Chip or maybe both said they would participate in that as well.
I'd like to have them back as guests. I like them a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, no,
maybe when Ironicus
right.
gets married, we can have this exact same fucking conversation.
Maybe we could figure out the tech with, maybe people could call in via Skype or something and we could hang up on them.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Or just delete their commentary. Yeah.
I mean, that's sorry.
So, the future is wide open, is what we're getting at.
Yeah, wide open, sure. That's how I'd put it.
The world is our internet oyster.
Basically. But not oyster.
Not oyster. I wonder what happened to that guy. R.I.P.
Who cares? I'm married. Who gives a shit? Fuck him.
So I'd like to give a couple of shout-outs, not specific ones, but we've changed our hosting for the podcast to Liberated Syndication, which is a little bit more reliable. Thanks to Mr. Swoon for hosting our podcast until then, but we actually crashed the site a couple of times, so we decided to, to not corrupt his website so much.
Absolutely, no. It's no offense to him that we're moving there, just for the bandwidth and such. But
Exactly. So a few shout-outs, because Liberated Syndication gives us some neat stats that we can look at. So I wanted to say thank you to the one person who lives in Wyoming.
Nice! Thank you, Bill.
We have a,
Bill!
I'm sorry you live in Wyoming, but thank you for the hit or the listen.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to the 24 people in Alabama who apparently listen to this.
That's your extended family, I assume.
Yeah, my sister wives.
Right, of course. That's good.
And then in Massachusetts, there are 137 hits, which we'll all see you all at PAX.
Yeah!
For a spring break party!
Spring break!
Yeah!
Woohoo!
And then we also get to know people throughout the entire world who listen.
Oh, do we? Are there people outside of this one country that exists in the world?
Believe it or not, yeah. We received 1 hit from South Africa.
Nice, okay.
6 hits in Saudi Arabia.
That's to be expected, sure, yeah, okay.
Ahmadinejad is apparently listening from Iran because there's 1 hit there.
That must be Ahmadinejad.
It can't be anybody else, honestly.
Well, thank you for fielding the pronunciation for me, because there was no way I was getting that right.
1 hit in Mexico.
Oh, I wonder if that's Artemio from the Police Knots Project.
Oh, maybe.
That's the only guy who lives in Mexico.
That has to be it, yeah. It's a barren wasteland of murder otherwise.
Breaking Bad is what to go to.
Uh-huh.
Mexico is the Breaking Bad of Mexico.
Thank you to the 1 hit in Iceland.
Nice, okay.
And I'm just giving shout-outs to countries with the Republic of Serbia. 1 hit.
It's my friend Miloš.
Oh, okay. I should have known that.
Can I pee while you do this?
The only other 3 in China and 1 in the Ukraine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
All right.
so cool.
Well,
And 1 in Malaysia.
Oh, Malaysia, nice.
Yeah.
Can I pee now?
Now you can pee. Those are my shout-outs. And the 1 in Guatemala as well.
Shh. Be quiet.
There's 1. And then apparently most of the people who listen to this reside near San Francisco.
Nice.
So
That's really kind of remarkable in a way. Not to like. I'm not trying to give it a pat on the back, but it is a very odd thing. You know what I mean? To be like, wow, someone
to think that
Iran,
like, hey, there's a person in this country listening to me talk about shit.
Yeah, like President Ahmadinejad cares what I say. No, but
I look forward to your next UN speech. Maybe drop a little mention.
Your stupid hurricane meandering speech was stirring somehow. You moron. I feel really bad for that, by the way. I feel like that topic was so over my head, but I hope no one was offended.
Well, that's okay. It happened in your state. I think you have the right to talk about it.
And to my friend, but yes.
Right.
And honestly, if you want to hear about like tragic news, you want to hear it from a guy who once talked over the video game The Immortal.
Look, guys, the mod of Let's Play has something to say about this disaster.
God damn it! I don't know who to turn to in this hurricane.
Sandy, were you but an internet account, I could ban you from this realm.
Someone get a guy who played Super Metroid on the line,
please,
to help me out here. Yeah.
Let's FEMA.
Really though, can I pee now?
Yeah. I think that's gonna be at the podcast.
Nice. Okay. Woo!
Vote. Vote.